My name is Mariah James. I am a sociology major at Muskingum University. I consider myself an American and study abroad student. While attending Muskingum University, I have studied abroad in India, Italy, and China. I think it's safe to say I know the feeling of being an international student, but the purpose of my study is to better understand the international students of Muskingum University. I want to know, what are some of the differences they recognize? What are some of their likes and dislikes? What are some of the things that they struggle with? So, through many interviews from students all over the world, I was able to compile one voice. A day in the life of living, days together, but worlds apart. What do you think of Muskingum University?
First, I think this university is very good because the environment is very good, and I met many people after I came here, and I never met these people even we are living in the same city. That make me very happy that I got many good friends.
Is it good or is it not good?
It's not good.
Why is it not good?
I think I just, just live in my brain is just, yeah.
What's wrong with your brain?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally different because the campus is really, really huge, and moreover, the college life in general, it's really different. Here, the college life, it's a real event, I think, in the life of some other people. And in France, it's not like that because you don't live on campus, like you go to school, and after you go to home, so it's completely different. You don't have this kind of community and things like that.
And when I first time to the Mass King University, it's different with my hometown. It is very peaceful and quiet. I like this environment of this country, of this school, because I like quiet and I like a peaceful life.
Good.
I think there are a lot of difference between Chinese students and American students. For example, American students is better than Chinese students to show what they are thinking, and they can um, they can speak out what they are seeking in their heart. But Chinese students is that they are afraid to say what they are thinking.
And with the other students, like the big difference, I think it's not with the students in general, it's with American people. When I first came here, I was shocked because American people like to eat. They do love to eat. I was really, really shocked. And yeah, it's not a stereotype. And I was also shocked by when I first came to the dining hall, like by the clique, you know, like here people hung out with people who look like themselves, and it's really weird because in France you don't have this spirit of community. You can hang out with with so many people, so many different people, and here you have some communities, and for me it's not a good thing. So I was shocked, but now it's okay. I get used to it. So.
I think the Mary student somehow is very active, just like her roommate, is just like friend of us. And some like, I don't know why, it's just they don't like to smell nothing. And some of is very outgoing.
And the professor, they are friendly, and maybe some student, it looks like a very angry, but it just looks like when you talk with him, he will be smile, and the smile is very nice.
Okay, good, good. Are there any students that are mean to you?
Yeah.
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 How so? How do they act mean to you? Do not want to talk to you?
Just a little. Maybe he had bad things.
Oh, okay.
And he said, it's fine. I think everybody has a same time, so
Right.
don't worry about this. Everything will be fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
And,
Do you think that bias and stereotypes affect these decisions of interaction as well?
Sure. Sure, I do. The United States has, we have a history of bias and stereotypes throughout, the history of immigration in this country. Every group that's come in large waves has met some sort of prejudice since when they came here. Even though we invite them to come, if you look at the Statue of Liberty, it talks about send us you're tired, you're weak, you're poor, yearning for freedom. And then, they come in, they go through Ellis Island, they come in, and suddenly, okay, now you're here, but we really don't want, we want you to become Americans, but we don't want you to really live among us. And so, historically, here you have pockets of immigrants that come in and they stay together in those pockets. So why do they stay in those pockets? Because it's comfortable. They're entering a new situation, sometimes a new language, new cultural beliefs, and then people in the community say, well, you're different from us, right? So, and historically that's happened. Every group that's come in has had that. And of course now with the political climate that we have, with people barking about immigration and immigration reform and all of those types of things, I think you have a lot more division. There are a lot more people who are saying out loud, no, we don't want this type, or we don't want that type. And so it's hard for immigrants who come here, it's hard for them to want to integrate when they're receiving that message, right? When they hear someone on television, someone who's running for political office saying, everyone from this group is a terrorist, or every immigrant or every person that's here from this group is a murderer and a rapist. You're only sending us the bad people, you're not sending us the good people. And they hear this and they see this, and why would people want to integrate? Why would they want to become part of that? So,
What are some of the stereotypes and bias you have heard about other nationalities?
As a French, I've heard like every French people wear berets and eat baguettes and eat cheese. And one of the baddest was like, we all stink. That's not true. That's not true. But yeah, it's funny. It's not offense. It's just funny to hear about that. So it's okay for me.
I heard some bias from the American student. They said Chinese students they are good at the mathematics, but I think not because we just good at some basic mathematics like the primary school or some middle school, it from the, yeah, something like that, because it's not every mathematics that we learn or we know. So this is the first one. I think the second one is they said Chinese students are not good at drive, because in China we have a lot of transportation jam, and it's really too much people, it's really crowded.
And I think, honestly, some students don't really know what real stereotypes are. And I've taught it in class. We talk about stereotypes and prejudice. And, we mention them. Students will talk about, well, all Asians are good at math. Well, that's not true. It's a negative stereotype. So we talk about positive stereotypes, negative stereotypes. But it's not enough just to talk about it. It's not enough just to acknowledge it. You have to kind of fight through, and you have to get past those.
Like 90% of the, but there's still some students that are not, they don't, I don't know, they just don't understand that we're from a foreign country, so language is a big problem for me. Because
every Chinese student they are not good at driving. I agree with that. Yeah. And the third one, I think, my friend, he said, are you Chinese? Are you all Chinese students to play Kung Fu?
You might have uninformed students who say, well, this ethnicity is like this, or this ethnicity is like that. It doesn't allow for people to come together. But it's a very difficult thing. I mean, they're able to be who they are. They're able to speak their language and practice their culture. But essentially, they're expected to, use English as often as possible. They're expected to integrate with American students, a culture that they may not have a great deal of information about before they come here. They're expected to adapt to a different educational system like that. I mean, very, very different educational system. So they have a lot of challenges just coming in.
Concord is not a very big city. I'm coming from the capital of the just like capital of the whole province in China. That so this place do not have many different. Sorry.
Beginning, it was really difficult for me because of the language, and especially for me because I'm really talkative. I love to talk, so I was really stressed out and things like that.
But I think one big thing is the language barrier. I mean, I think one big thing is a student saying, well, I don't want to room with somebody who doesn't speak English, because then how will we communicate and that kind of thing.
at the beginning when I come here, a bunch of it's just one case. He tried to talk to me, but I didn't get what he's saying. So he started laughing. He started laughing so loud. I was so embarrassing.
The domestic students don't think that with that vision, they're kind of haven't thought it out, just, have maybe a little bit of disrespect or a little bit of impatience towards the process. But over time, again, I think that is lost as well. Once they get to see that this person is just a nice person trying to study and, survive the class and get their degree.
You try to study in America, and you have to know you need to improve spoken English, and not just spoken, every English, like writing, reading, and listening. think to make a good American friend is really it's a really good way to improve your English. Yeah.
Recognizing how difficult it actually is for them. I don't know if students or faculty that are Americans that haven't studied overseas, I don't know if they really comprehend how difficult it is and what a challenging thing these students are doing. I recognize that it's not easy. And
There's still some students that are not, they don't, I don't know, they just don't understand that we're from another foreign country, so language is a big problem for me. Because
I think this is the differences.
Why do you think that they are afraid?
Chinese students.
Yeah.
I think because of our traditional education in China. Students just to listen to their teacher. They don't have their self. They cannot think by themselves. So I think this is the reason.
instead of saying, well, you need to do this, you need to integrate, you need to do this, we need to be there to help them. We need to assist them, and we need to kind of, not handhold them, but we need to make them feel welcome. And we need to continue that feeling and recognize what they're doing is a pretty amazing thing that a lot of Americans wouldn't do. And to recognize that. I've seen a lot of success over the past 6 years or so that we've had a lot of degree-seeking students. A lot of them are very, very successful. Many of them they integrate right away, and they have very successful social experiences as well as academic experiences. Some of them have joined fraternities, which was something that was new, that really have kind of shaped.
I don't understand why you like so much air conditioning.
Air conditioning?
Yes, because when it's hot, I like to enjoy the warm weather and not have cold because your air conditioning is very cold, and when it's like a little bit hot, you can just open the window and a little bit fresh air to come, but air conditioning is very cold and I don't understand why you like it so much.
What steps do you feel could be taken to improve the relationships between international and American students?
It's a hard question, but I think like the responsibles, they can like just promoting international people, and maybe we can do like international events to promote like the international communities, and and maybe as international people, we should be more open to American, because America it's really different here. You have all that clique, and you have to go in one of this clique and start to speak to people. So maybe it's us. We have to make this. We have to reach this step and to start to talk to people more. And maybe I don't know. So, but it's clear. It's clear that we have to make some efforts by the two sides.
The domestic students and the international students are very polite and respectful of each other in the classroom. Now, I have had group work where a domestic student, for example, might complain about being in a team with an international student who's struggling understanding the assignment, or they may not be doing their part of the work, and I just treat it like I would any other student, whether they're an international student or not. I talk to them and tell them they have to do their part, that I'm not happy with the choice they've made not to help. And I try very hard in class to treat everybody the same. So I'm a little bit wild and crazy. I like to use humor and have fun and take little breaks in class. And with the international students, I just treat them like everybody else, and I think they respect that. And I think it helps to enculturate them with the domestic students better when we do that. They feel more comfortable.
And it's all about education. You know, we are not born with stereotypes. We learn them. You know, we're not born with prejudice. We learn it. We're not born with, you know, feelings of racism. We learn them. And if we learn it, we can unlearn it through education and through compassion and through, you know, open-mindedness and getting to know one another, honestly getting to know one another. And so, you know, I think one of the best ways to get past that is for students to really sit down and talk about, look, this is what it's like in my country. This is what we're used to. You know, and have Americans really honestly talk about what's life like here. Otherwise, what you have is you have students who come here for a certain period of time and they get an American degree, but they don't have an American university experience. So there's a big thing that's missing. There's a big chunk of this experience that's missing if we don't have that, if we don't all come together like that. And, you know,
I think it would be better if we don't leave all the international in the same floor, because we are always with all the international. It's a good thing, but in the same, you don't really meet American people because you are always with other internationals and you're not living with American.
And so if as a community, we don't do things to say, you know, that we welcome you, we want you to be here. And not just say it, but show it.
But you have to feel very confident, and you have to try. Even if it's hard and you're gonna make some mistakes, you have to try, and people can make fun of you. They can make fun of your accent, but you are learning and you're getting better. But it's a lesson life. I think this year had been a lesson for me. And
the experiences that they've had. You know, many of them go on to graduate school. But, you know, here they've had this experience that, you know, whether they go back home or whether they come back to the U.S. or they stay in the U.S., they've had an experience that's completely changed their lives and shaped them. And that's a success in and of itself. And so what I want to do is be able to be part of helping them have the best experience they can.
Thank you.